What is the ruling of a man or animal's sut, meaning leftover food or drink? Answer. The leftovers of every human are pure, male or female, junub, menstruating, Muslim or kafir. Similarly, the leftovers of an animal whose flesh can be eaten are pure. The leftovers of dogs, pigs and hunting animals are impure. The leftovers of cats, free chickens, hunting birds like falcons and hawks are makruh, detested, as are the leftovers of animals which live in the home like rats and snakes.
Okay, so this is a Hanafi view. Hanafi view is probably the most, it needs most time to cover. You have leftover of humans, which is okay. Then those which you eat meat of, that's okay. And those which are domestic, cats and chicken, we'll cover them. And then you've got donkeys and mules, which are disputed. And then you have those which you don't eat the meat of, haram animals and wild beasts and so on. So if you repeat that, the answer again, if you guys listen carefully, you need to make notes on them, inshallah.
So the leftovers of every human are pure, male or female, junub, menstruating, Muslim or kafir. Similarly, the leftovers of an animal whose flesh can be eaten are pure. The leftovers of dogs, pigs and hunting animals are impure, and the leftovers of cats, free chickens, hunting birds like falcons and hawks are makruh, as are the leftovers of animals which live in the home like rats and snakes.
Clear? So that's the Hanafi view. If you remember that last time we said, what we were talking about impurity falling into water. All right? That will become the basis of this chapter, how we derive at our conclusions. As far as Hanafis are concerned, they look at the animal, for example, and the saliva of the animal, which is halal to eat, is treated as clean. Saliva of the animal, which is haram to eat in general, is haram. And then there are those domestic animals which hadith has allowed, has explained that their drinking from a water or their remainder, like cat, is pure. So we will cover that inshallah. First of all, when we talk about remainder of water, we are talking about if there is a jug of water, all right, I pour some water in the glass and I drink from the glass. What's the remainder water? What are we talking about? I drank, my mouth touched the water in the glass. So we're talking about the glass. There is no dispute whatsoever that what's in the jug is clean, because that went directly into the. So when we say leftover, it means an animal or a person has drank from water which is in a container and the leftover in the same container, whether that's pure or not. You can say, I gave him a jug of water and that's what's left over, but I didn't drink directly from the jug, I drank from the glass. I poured it into a glass. So as far as the rulings which are for leftover or remainder water is what's in the glass. Clear? Finish up.
Question 33. What is the ruling of makruh leftovers? Answer. When there is something else, it will be makruh to use it. For example, a man has pure water from which a cat drank and pure water from which a man drank. He wants to make wudu. It will be better for him to use the leftover water of the man instead of the cat's leftover. Question 34. If he does not have any water besides the leftover of the cat, should he make wudu with it or should he make tayammum? Answer. He should make wudu with it, not tayammum. The water is still pure even though it is makruh if there is other water. Question 35. Are there any doubtful leftovers? Answer. Yes, the leftovers of donkeys and mules are doubtful because of different proofs.
Okay. They said leftover of cats. If you have a cat at home, it drank from a container, the Hanafis, only the Hanafis, they say if you have other water available, then you may use that. Is disliked for you to use the same water. And otherwise, you may use the same water and you don't need to do tayammum. Tayammum, we will cover that very soon, inshallah. It is attaining purity without water, using sand or something from the earth. But when it comes to donkey and mule, they say you must do tayammum with it. That's the Hanafi view. Let's go to the basis. We said last time, when there is a body of water, Hanafis, Shafis, and Hanbalis and Malikis, they look at it in a different way if something has fallen into it, if an impurity fell into it. What do Hanafis say? They say, well, first we have to see, is it a lot of water or is it less? Is a small quantity. And what's a small quantity for them? A small quantity is if you move the one side of the water, the other side moves as well. That's a small quantity of water for them. What's a small quantity for Hanbalis and Shafi'is? Because they say the same thing. So they say if it's qullatan, 2 qullas, which I said almost the size of a standard bathtub. All right, and less than that. Standard bathtub will be more than qullatan. But if that's the amount which we explained last lesson, they say that's less water. So in case the water is a small quantity, then as soon as a filth falls into it, it is impure. You cannot use it. When it is more than the small quantity, when it's large quantity, meaning a quantity for Hanafis, if you move from the one side, it doesn't vibrate the other side, that means it is a large quantity. If something falls in this side of the water and it doesn't affect the other side, then that means if the filth fell on this side, you can still do wudu from the other side. As for the Hanafis and the Shafis and Hanbalis, they said if it's more than qullatan, then whatever falls into it from the najasa, it does not make it impure, as long as the color, smell and taste is good. It hasn't changed. So when the color, smell and taste hasn't changed, and Malikis, they didn't concern themselves with more water or less amount of water at all. They said as long as the three qualities of the water, the smell, the taste and color remains, water is pure. Same with when it comes to leftovers as well. So we will cover for Hanafis, humans, domestic animals like those which we eat and those we don't eat, like cats. We'll cover dogs and pigs, right? They all have different. We covered wild beasts. They have different ruling in Hanafi madhab. Maliki madhab, they say if the water hasn't changed its quality, even if a pig drinks from it, dog drinks from it, if it has its qualities of color, taste and smell, and nothing's changed, they say water is clean. So inshallah we'll cover this first and then we'll move on to our next subject. It's not a very long subject.